Next up, who I'm introducing, is someone who I met at another poetry event a few months ago. Everyone hear me? Yeah! Who approached me about Devil's Dyke Night, and I promptly forgot her name. So I had an email address written down, and the next day I just emailed saying, "Hi, someone, I'm really sorry. Want to talk?" And now, a few months on, I would consider her one of my closest friends, and I am very, very proud to be introducing her tonight. She is a fantastic poet who makes me laugh a lot. So I'm really looking forward to this. But also think, but those two things can happen at once. But anyway, in her own words, which are better than mine, Alison Rumfitt writes confessional poetry for things that eat people. In 2018, she was nominated twice for the Riesling Award. She is always experimenting. You can find her work in Eternal Haunted Summer, Strange Horizons, Starline, Words Dance, and more. Her Twitter is @GothicGarfield, like the cat. So I'm very, very excited to introduce Alison Rumfitt to the stage.
Have to keep an eye on that. Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yeah!
One person can hear me! Hi, I'm Alison Rumfitt. A few weeks ago, I was... Oh, hi! Welcome! I was at home. I live back in Portsmouth, and I went to see the film Lady Bird with my mum. Don't go and see the film Lady Bird with your mum. Don't do that. It's not a good idea. This is a poem about why it's a really bad idea. And it's called Driving Back from Seeing the Film Lady Bird with My Mum in Silence. Erratic of, indicative of, expansion of, into, internal bleeding and symbiotic alignments. We are in the car driving home from watching Greta Gerwig's Lady Bird, both crying at each other. It is Mother's Day tomorrow, and the road passes by the ocean, the soft, far-off light streamboating up in the Starlight Club. There are so many things wrong with this setting. I couldn't count if I had all the fingers I'd ever dreamed of, and if I had all the fingers I'd ever dreamed of, I wouldn't need you to take me on car rides now. We are illustrative of mother-daughter arguments in enclosed spaces, but having seen them displayed in modern Technicolor, it doesn't feel so violent these days. Call me Ladybird, so I'm performing outside of the spaces, so I am extracted from spaces I have found myself in, like names or gender or so forth, like a nuclear family and a semi-detached housing plan, like a room choked with dust that I have been trying to clean every time I go home, but every time I leave, my absence means something has to fill it, so the dust moves in to fill the space I leave. Like a poet-shaped sculpture of dead skin and loose hair formed into a shape sat cross-legged on the old sheets with logos of films I can't remember having seen. If you make sudden movements around me, I'll collapse, so don't you dare move. Don't you dare. We've got one chance to save this whole thing, and I don't want you messing this up with another of your funny turns, like the one that made you leave your work, like when you spilled boiling water on your foot so it blistered, so you came crying to me saying, "I'm so stupid, why am I studying English fucking literature? I don't know anything about English literature, I'm sorry! I'm sorry I did that, I didn't mean it." Erratic of... Can something even be erratic of something? Have we started this out on the wrong foot, the wrong meter? What's a meter? I said I don't know anything about literature. You didn't say a thing as you ran cold water onto my red raw skin. You looked up at me. My tears probably dripped a little onto your face. I'm sorry I did that. Greta Gerwig knows that our true problem lies here, in the act of us not talking about anything worthwhile, which is, I'm sorry I did that. On me, I'm afraid, a mistress of avoiding difficult topics, but my name is just my name, and no, I haven't called the clinic. And I know this will mean that you give up on referring to me with my actual name because you think I'm not truly serious about this whole gender thing. In Ladybird, the character of Ladybird does not appear to identify with what we in Britain call a ladybird, which is an insect, which is in America a ladybug. it is unclear if she knows her name is the same as this thing. She instead creates those jagged collages of her face and her body mashed up with thrushes like badly made splice effect. I wonder what she'd think if she knew me. She'd be so much older than I am now. She'd have grown so tall she'd be blotting out the Sacramento or the Portsmouth skyline. Portsmouth is my Sacramento, for those of you following along at home. She'd probably get along with me, and her mum, who is, like my mum, a mental health nurse, would find comfort in my mum, and we'd get along just really quite wonderfully, actually, which says something or other about how all unhappy families are alike. Not the actual phrase, I know, but I already told you I don't know my books properly, and I think Greta Gerwig would find our dysfunction quaint enough to vomit into a bag, too. Crying in a car after we saw a film that was too close to the truth. We really do parody ourselves in acts and moments such as this, don't we? That's the wrong page. Don't we? Why won't you say something for once? You never call, you never text or call, you never let us know how you're doing. I'm sorry I did that. We don't have the money. Your granddad is sick again. You should phone your nan. She misses you. I don't tell you this enough, but I love you. We love you. The do in we do love you does so much work here. But we do love you. We love you. You know that, right? We love you. Phone more. We love you. We love you. We love you. We love you. I love you. Know this. Know this. I know this. I do. I love you too in abstract and in real blood life sometimes when I don't act on it, or when I do. I am capable of the most enormous amounts of familial bonding. But only here, there, now, then. You know? You know. I was outside just now, and like people walked past, and then one of them, it was like a boy, it was like a teenager, looked at me and went, "Is that a boy or a girl?" In that voice, because that's how teenage boys talk. And it's like, I hope that would stop when I came to Brighton, over a year ago now, but it didn't. When I was about 17, I wrote a poem called "The Only Trans Girl at the Party," and it was, I think, my second ever published poem. It's not very good. But this is quite very, very recently I wrote this. I wrote this last Thursday. It's sort of an update, maybe, on that original poem, or a sequel, or a check-in with the headspace I was in and see how it works in Brighton, in student house parties rather than college house parties. Because student house parties are a different kind of loneliness to college house parties, but they're both very lonely. Content warning, it contains a lot of transphobic slurs, also dead naming and drug mentions, and also like forced taking of drugs. I don't know if there's a word for that, but like it's got that in it. It's called "The Only Trans Girl at the Party 2. And it opens with a quote from my favourite band, the Mountain Goats, which is, "'Cause I am not this body that imprisons me." Cocaine aspect ratio move out. I want to see it in full. Lonely breakwater, lonely Pebble Beach, storming over the underpass like a ghost of a girl knocked by the wind. Cocaine aspect ratio move in to see the detail on your sullen face, the way your eyes move from floor to wall to door to garden to window pane to her to him, to the drinks cabinet, to the bathroom where you stumbled. She-male party relaxation playlist 5. Should self-identifying trans women be on all women's shortlists? Well, should they? Oh, you came as a witch. That's nice. You even brought a dress. A fake anti-Semite nose with bulbousness. That's nice. Woman kicked out of Labour Christmas party for her views on trans women in women's positions, positioning left but identifying with certain aspects of the right. Do you have any cocaine? Do you have any ketamine? No, I haven't done ketamine yet. I've been working my way towards it. You know, what's your opinion on Lily Madigan? I have some thoughts. I want to meet her and tell her she matters, but she should delete her Twitter before it's too fucking late. It's too late for me. It isn't too late for her. Here is a shortlist of things I don't want you to say when I'm the only trans woman at your university house party. Oh, I did invite another trans person here, but she never showed up. Oh, I like the way your lips look in the light. Oh, I have a fetish for trans girls, you know. Let me wear your beret. No, I can't justify this. My excuse is that I am stuck out like a sore loser on the bench of a secondary school hockey game where you hit your thumb with a stick and took all of the skin off like a week before exams, blood on a physical education floor pooling amongst dead skin, saying, this has to end right now. This has to end, Elliot. This is not working out how you expected, is it? You are not the person you thought you are you? Are you? I can use names that don't mean anything for effect because they fucking work on you. Pinpricked or suckering the punch to your neck. Hold out a key with white powder on the end and push it into my face without warning. The only thing to do is sniff like a fly has tried to climb inside your brain to plant maggots to come out of your baby green eyes. Baby blue for baby's blue. I hate this song. Come On Eileen by Dexy's Midnight Runners plays. It reminds me of being 16 and being assaulted. Can you skip to whatever is next on this playlist you titled Party 4? Shemale Rio Relaxation 5. I found that video on Google searching Only Trans Girl at the Party, my own old poem, that was the fourth result. Shemale Rio Party Relaxation Mix. If you click on it, it's a video of like 10 Brazilian trans women of various ages looking directly into the camera whilst music plays, not from a source in the video, but overlaid as non-diegetic soundscaping, puckering lips to the presumably male cameraman. https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=V_V_HTKHP_NK. The video description says lots of beautiful trannies, and like, yes they are, but I can't imagine they like you talking about us like that, you know? I mean, you really shouldn't use those words, mate. I know you're drunk and she's too anxious to like say this to you, but you can't say that. That's like fucked up, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go apologize. No, like, that'll just, I don't know, she's fine. Is she? I just want her to know that, I'm not that kind of dude, really. Like, I don't call her Bruce Jenner anymore, but like, really, that's so, like, not even relevant. That was years ago. Yeah, but my girlfriend watches the Kardashians, and she told me all about it. Like, I came as a witch, I didn't come as a transvestite. She shouldn't act so offended. She isn't offended, she's just a bit upset. I'm the one bringing this up, like, she wouldn't even have said anything. Yeah, oh fuck. I want another drink. Come on, Eileen. Come on, Eileen. Come on, Eileen. Come on, Eileen. What do these words make you think of? Egg salad, white rabbit, poetry, dry mouth devoid of spit, piss, miss the toilet bowl again. Because you are drunk enough to piss standing up like a man does. Because I am not this body that imprisons me. I can do what I fucking want, so what if I piss like I used to? I want to, that's what matters, right? I'm going home, fuck you, I'm going home, this is too much. Thank you for inviting me, fuck, yes, I can get home safe. I know all the tiny routes where I go like a luminous firebug. I have done this enough times to think this city at night can still hold some aspect of freedom for me, even if I know that is false thinking. Wrong think, as you said, I said for asking you to use my name, positioning myself as a searchlight or as your tongue, speaking the words I want it to, saying, get home safe if you have to, get home safe if you need to, if you want to, get home if you have to, if you need to, if you want to, go home when you feel like it, going backwards to when you were 16 again, dating a girl for the first time in the world, like a delicate, sharp flower shell. Now you stepped on it, both breaking it and cutting open your foot, and I bled on the kitchen floor again. Get home, go home, go home. Rio, shemale, party, relaxation, beautiful trannies in the sun on the beach, bathing and drinking cocktails like there's no issues in this whole wide goddamn stinking piss take of a city. I came here to not feel like this anymore. I came here to feel less like a broken piece of drywall as much, but I am, and you are here. And that's just how that is, so let's do what we have to make it all shrink into the morning and open your mouth again. I'm gonna do one more for you, but it's doing a thing that I haven't done before. It's sort of experimental. So there's people who have copies of this poem in the audience who are gonna like shout things at me, the instructions, and then I follow them. Also, fun thing about that last poem, Elliot isn't my dead name, but I thought it was just funny if I pretended to have a different dead name. This next poem I wrote just after we were trying to secure our new house. And then I suddenly got this text saying, need to pay an agency fee, it's £210. And I was like, so it's about, it's content warning for sex and sex work and precarious living. Yeah, it's called Agency. It does not like this poem. Yeah, it's called Agency Fees, so first instructor.
A breathing that sounds as if the breather's throat is closed up and asthmatic, like this, in, out, in, out, in, out, and this goes on for a short while, but long enough for it to become uncomfortable to listeners, if there are any. If there are not listeners, then the poem ends immediately here.
Asthmatic telegraph tells me my grandfather is cancerous again and that his bladder is gutted like a seaside fish market tuna, that he has squeezed stones out of his urethra like laying little hard rock eggs that hatch into glass vials bursting. You can go to the hospital and ask them and they will give you them, and you can take them home and keep them on your mantle or burn them for warmth. Or throw them at trains or from bridges over motorways. It's okay to cause disruption with tiny things that can't actually do anything, but think you are causing disruption anyway. He told me he won't last until next Christmas. We all laughed, but knew it was true, so what's the point? After all, what's the point of grandparents in your life, if not to inform you that actually death is possible and real? Then your parents, then you, in the way it is supposed. Agency fee in the back of your throat, scratching away. Will your guarantor be paying for you, and how guilty will you feel if it is them, because they can't even really pay for themselves these days? Remortgage the house, dear, it'll spice up the marriage. Property benefits and secure transaction agreements in artificial housing markets. Stop to take a short, sharp, gasping spit on the side of the road, and you will have a double bed, and you will need to buy new sheets to restain again. Everything happens in a cycle with new locations. Pay all of your money non-refundably backwards, pointing up into the higher echelons of the property people, soft, warm, closing cold, embracing, sleepy, resting. You speak jargon, I speak cold, hard cash. What to do with a double bed? Spend the night with me, finally. You can press yourself up warm against me. I radiate 100 different types of heat specifically designed for your comfort and needs. A real good deal, and you don't even need to pay now. You can take out a loan on my sex, my feet specialities, or choke my little face. Come into my throats. Come into my private area-tastic house viewing. Come into...
Hear the poet's cough. For a while, the listeners think this is not a poem, but it goes on and on so long that, well, maybe it's enough. Maybe she's really suffering. Of course she is, but it's still part of the poem because both can be true at once. Maybe the listener asks if she is okay, but she holds one hand up to that palm flat facing forward to stop. Then she stops. Maybe her eyes are teared up, but she's wearing makeup around her eyes. Maybe I've begun to stream like a porn star's eyes ringed with spinning black eyeliner designs to not stand up to the beating of your tool large cocked inside your face.
I never have enough fucking money, and I can't make enough from selling little images of my physical form to cover it because my form is too strange for the average general consumer goods. The body as a consumer good, as a common good, as a greater good, as something that is good, although not great, but at least not average, or all the words that mean average. Oh, is it problematic yet to take the language or imagery associated with porn and find myself in it? There are men who I have never spoken a silence to, who have seen how or why I might fuck for a Skype call, paying small amounts of worship. And it is not my place to talk further, probably, about the exact inside-out nuances of creating and selling pornography online. But still, this is unavoidably factual. That to an extent my body, or at least the impression of my body and the way it is moving inside the space of a bedroom, have been used in financial contractions, moving in, then out, then in again, like the soft lungs, or maybe the roughness of illness lungs, or like a bladder that doesn't work so good these days after years of heavy drinking. Sometimes I think about what it would be like for your bladder to burst inside you and your organs to become soaked in piss, and this is probably your fetish. Reader, watcher, consumer, buyer, fan, how close are you to me? Can you touch? Can you pay for me to live in a comfortable house? where I will happily perform the laborious acts that are required of me, like cooking or like taking a bath, or like dancing in the kitchen at midnight with nobody watching but voyeuristicisms, with eyes made of paper or glass I have not yet decided, with a delicate rig of security cameras positioned at discrete points around where I go every day. That was bad. Where I find myself in my most private moments. Ask me those 150 questions that lead to love without me realizing that this is what I am being interviewed on. Yes, I think the family member whose death would affect me most would not be my granddad. More likely, I don't know, I can't choose between mum and dad. I mean, they play favourites, but how can I? Okay, I think dad, you dirty Freudian you. Because even if he doesn't have much himself, he still sends stuff to help me out. Perform for nobody, because everything, even honest sincerity, is performing on a stage shaped like a small house, on a small street. Everything is cabaretic ballet, and we are the dancers that were not told the exact thematic significance of what we have to dance, so we perform this whole entire intricate routine, then only afterwards find out that it was a show about how the only right way to do things is the way things already are, when we thought maybe it was about revolution or emotional labour. And we all make statements apologising to our socialist friends for what we did to them. Donate the pay to a fund for food banks, even if we need the payments to afford everyday eccentricities. Fuck me like...
The reader makes a lot right, which I'm almost unsure if you had.
I'm a dirty little capitalist cog, and you're an estate agent or my boss or my choreographer or my marketing manager telling me that presenting myself as slightly edgy yet lovable is the next big thing. Fuck me like machinery. Fuck me like a factory that's shutting down next week. Fuck me like a gold mine. Thank you so much.